So, hello camp, I hope it's nice weather. It hasn't been blowing a gale, so that's good. So we just talked about reminder about vertical and horizontal lines. Okay, so your horizontal line is always going to be slope 0, and it goes through whatever y value it is. That will be your equation y equals 8. For your vertical line, then it's whatever the x line goes through, undefined slope. Sorry, forgot to record, so that was a bit of a rush. Recap, you only need 2 points. I would always go 3 points. Why? Just in case one of them was wrong. All right, and when I say I always, older I get, more careful I am with the 2 I choose. Anyway, so 2 points. We've got 2 equations here in different forms, right? The forms that we are used to, our gradient intercept form and our general form. A bit of funky, I know the 10 should be over, but most of the time it's written like that. So if I was going to use table of values to graph this, what values would you choose? Well done. So we've gone with -6. I'm always a fan of good old 0. I mean, I might have not gone -6. I would have gone -3. And? Yeah, so why are any of you choosing 1 or 2?
That's not the pattern.
Ah. If I chose 4, you would then go 4? Yeah, no. Why'd you choose 6? So if you're looking at this, if you had chosen 4, wouldn't you end up with a fraction answer? Whereas if you're choosing 6 or 3, any multiple of 3, the fraction disappears and you can graph it nicely. So when you're choosing your values, have a look. Makes it a lot easier for you. Would you agree? Yeah. Or you just went, I saw 6, I'll choose 6. Yeah. Well, that was a good one anyway. Right? So you can pop that in your calculator if you want, right? We would end up with y equals 2/3 times -6 and then take 6. So I don't have my calculator with me, but we can do beautiful fraction work. So what's that? -2, so -4, -10. Agreed? So, yep, this is your x value. You pop it in here. We're saying what's y going to be when x is 0? Why would I always choose 0? Easy, correct. Make your life simple, right? Because what's anything times 0? 0. Beautiful. Sweetness? Shut it. 2/3, right? 2/3 times x is now 3. Take 6. They cancel. 2 take 6 is? Sweet? You can draw up your table, your axes, and plot those points. What's a downfall of this method? Takes a long time. What else? Lots of numbers, few places you can stuff up. I mean, what happens if this was a big number as well? That's a little bit of a pain in the butt. But look, it's doable. Yeah? If we tried to do table of values for that one, who goes, yay? No, because it would be a nightmare, wouldn't it? Choose your x values, you'd have to rearrange. So not wise and not preferable if it's in the general form. We happy with that? I'm going to show you in a minute how this can also come up on your calculator. But is everyone happy you can just get 2 points, slap in your values, and away you go? From this one, I wouldn't necessarily do a table of values, but you could choose a couple of points. You could say, okay, what about when x is, pick a value, any value. Yep, x is 4. Pop it in, so I get 2 times 4 plus 5y equals 10. But as I said, you're going to now see we've got fractions happening. Times 4 is 8. 10 take 8. Oh my goodness. Who wants that? And I wouldn't even know where to start to graph 2/5. Like, I'm not going to be very accurate anymore. Yeah? So not wise to do it that way. Do you remember how to graph with X and Y-intercepts? Okay, so quadratics we'll do later in the year. You will have to graph using X and Y-intercepts. I do that with year 11s, we do it with year 12s for all different types of functions. So this one, I would suggest we put a little note down in our books. Okay, ready? But, so don't draw this. If I've got any line here, when it cuts its y-axis, what is the value of your x? Yep, when it cuts its x-axis, what is the value of your y? It's 0. Yep. So would it come as any surprise, and do you remember that when you are doing to find my x-intercept, you make y equal 0. And I am very fussy. Please make sure that you have that heading all the time. And to find your y-intercept, you will make x equals 0, and it will work every single time. We're starting to do, as I said, with linear. We do it with crazy functions later on, and it's the same principle. If you get this under control, very simple. Okay, so with this one, x-intercept, y is 0, so you go back to your function. What do you think you're going to do? Wherever y is, what are you going to replace it with? Yeah, it's telling you what to do. So it's going to be 0 equals 2/3 x minus 6. And now we're rocking the algebra. What are you going to do next? Move 6, get rid of the take 6, plus 6. You do. You stay a step ahead of me. Now, obviously, I'm doing this long-winded. You could just pop it in your calculator. How do I get rid of the times? 2/3. Oh, 6 divided by 2/3. And then you're going, you haven't divided by 2/3, you've times by 3/2. Why? Because fractions, when you're dividing, you flip, reverse, and times. So, hopefully that's not brand new information to you. Sweet? This gives you the coordinate. X is 9, y is 0. I'm taking marks off my students in year 11 when they write x equals 9 is your y-intercept, is your x-intercept. Why? Why would I take a mark off if they're saying their y-intercept is x, their x-intercept is x equals 9? It's not a point. What is x equals 9? It is a line. Okay, so we're starting to get picky. It's not, oh, close enough. I know what you mean. This is now precision. What are you doing, Tom? Stop it. Seriously. So, y-intercept, x equals 0. I mean, it was in the y-intercept form, but you can see clearly here, when x is 0, 0 times anything? 0. So that's why we get minus 6, and we will finish that off and say it's 0 minus 6. Tis, isn't it? And they're going to ask you to do this. Find your x and y-intercept. I can show you a year 11 test. Find the x and y-intercept, and they still stuff it up. All good? We'll sketch it in a minute, and then we've got calculator, and then we're done. So we want to do the next one. Guess what? To find your x-intercept, what are we going to do? Y equals 0. It's the same thing. Yes, you should yawn. Because it's the same thing over and over again. Just a little bit of a, you remembering this from year 9? Little bit no, little bit yes, right? So we're all different. That's why we just go through it again to remind people, if you're like me, Ella, you're like me, I forget stuff. Absolutely. But is this okay? Making the sense? Okay, so x-intercept, y equals 0. This is why I love it in this form. So we make y equals 0. So my 2x sticks. What's 5 times 0? So that's disappeared. I get 10. So what's x got to be? Yes. Therefore, 5, 0. Capito? Y-intercept? Well, now, you do it, you do it. Stay ahead of me, find your Y-intercept. You should be 2 steps ahead. You're 3 steps ahead. So x equals 0, so 2 times 0, nothing there. So now you're left with 5y equals 10. Therefore, y is d. Now, I deliberately set that one up. 2, 5, 10. Obviously, if that wasn't 10, if it was 11 or 13, you've got fractions. But it's going to be a sketch, not a. It's a sketch, not a draw and plot the points. So let's draw each of these. You would draw a lovely, with a ruler, table of values, axes. Oh my goodness, what am I doing? We've got y, we've got x. Okay, let's plot this point, 9, 0. I will repeat, it's a sketch. So it does not have to be to scale. As long as you've got 9 on this side though, and not on the other side. Noah, you need to write this down. And 0 minus 6. And we get our ruler, not like I've done. Oh, geez, it's a bit of a shaky hand. Good. Slope. Yep. Up to. So JPB is just saying he did it a different way, got the same thing where he went up to, across 3, rise over run. Yes. And that's what you probably would have been, yep, you probably would have been given that in year 9. No more. No more. That's shocking. That is absolutely shocking, that line. Poor form. Now it is, but when you've got other functions, then it's not. Okay? And when you're doing this one, right, you would, so to do the rise over run thing for that one, you would have to rearrange it and put it in that form. Look, if that's what you want to do, go for it, but they're still going to ask you, tell me what your x-intercept is. Tell me what your y-intercept is. So trust me when I say this will be the best one that you need to do. So again, here's 5, here's 0, 2, and we connect. And you do it with a straight line. Happy? Right, now we want to check on our calculators. So to the calculators. To the calculators, and I'll just pause because I know some people might be still right. So they're your shortcuts if you didn't realise before. So instead of using your arrow keys and going there, you can just press 5. All right. I've got stuff in there so I can delete. So delete is F2. Yes. Delete F1. Delete. Delete. We all good? Okay. So can you pop? Oh, dear me. Can you put those 2 equations in? Yep, so we'll get there. Let's just wait for everybody to. Do we need help to put the x in?
Yes.
All right. Now, first things first. Has everybody actually got y equals? Can everyone watch this, please? Because if I had $1 for every time I've answered this question, Italy. So, very often students suddenly get this happening. And you go, what? What's with the x and the... Because you've gone and pressed scale, but you haven't actually pressed shift first. So, yeah, I know. See here? If you press F3 and it goes to type, you can actually change. And if you wanted to draw a vertical line, x equals, it's So if you press F4, you can see I've got X equals now. Go back to type. Y equals, we're all good. All right. Was it 2/3? Right, so we go 2/3, fraction button. Use your arrow key. This, we should remember, this is your X button. When did we use this? When we were doing solving equations, start of the year. So we press X minus 6. Okay. Now nothing's happening, it's flashing. You actually have to press enter, EXE to store. Do you know how to do this? You can carry on with your assignment if you didn't do it. Yes? We all good? Thank you. Okay, what are you going to have to do for this one? Can you put that in? Houston, we have a problem. Why? Because it has to be in your form, y equals. Switch it. Yep. So you're going to have to switch it. So we're going to get 5y by itself. So how are we going to get 5y by itself? 10 minus 2x. And then to get rid of the times 5, we just divide by 5. So 10 take 2x. I'm going to put my fraction button in. 10 take 2x all over 5. We good? Now, you can press draw or you can press EXE. We have all got exactly the same graphs in, the same equations, but I bet when we sketch it now, every single one of us, or most of us, will have a different looking graph. So, draw here or just press enter. So, thanks guys. Yep. So, your scale is zooming in like a camera lens. I could be taking a picture of Billy, right? If I've zoomed out, I've got a massive and Billy's tiny little head. Or I've got my telephoto lens, I zoom right in on his ear. 2 very different pictures, but the same Billy. So, first thing, and this is very important, we are all going to set it to a standard scale. So can everyone find their view window? We'll say that again. Can everyone find their view window? So we go shift view window. You can see you've got a whole lot of different things. So initial, that would turn your rectangular screen to square. Right? So when I draw a circle, when it's in this scale, it will actually look like a circle and not an oval. Trig, when we draw our trig, our sine and cosine graphs, that would be, it just gives you the scale. By the way, everybody press that. Do you have different to me? Oh, means your calculator's in radians. If you have different, is in degrees. If it was different, it was radians. Okay, we're going to go to standard. So, view window, exit, and now press draw. We get. Okay, I'm coming. So just do that one more time. Shift, view window, standard. To a student and they remove my axis. Like, that's rude. It's like driving someone's car and not putting the seat back to where you found it. Anyway, shift, setup. Can everyone go into here, please? So, shift, setup. Not this thing now, they're behind. Couple of interesting things. One, simultaneous graph. So if you've got more than one graph, they can either draw one at a time, or if you turn simultaneous on, they'll draw at the same time. Cute when I draw the flower, but otherwise, have we drawn the flower? Right, simultaneous. Oh, I'll do it with it. Derivative, it's your 11 and 12. Background, you could play around with that. Oh, look, you can put a picture in there. Plot. Sketch line. Angle we've seen, but you will see here, you've got your axes. Mine says scale. Interesting. So turn them on or off. So yours would be off. Yours would be off. So turn them back on again and we're good. All right? One last button that I want to show you that you can play around with. Can you find your zoom button? Look carefully. Where is it?
Yes.
Right, up the top. So if we go shift zoom, one of the great features that we can use sometimes is auto. So it will do it automatically for you if you've got a really funky graph. I mean, we've just got straight lines, so they're not funky. So zoom auto is a favorite. You can also see here that you've got zoom in and out. When I press, let's say, zoom in, this is my focus. So I can actually move that. Izzy, Addie, can you just watch here and then I can show you in a minute, but you're missing what we're showing here and then I have to repeat myself. So we just went shift zoom in. You can actually move that, right? And you can go, I'll zoom in there. Ooh, hardly ever use it. The other bit, how can we find that point of intersection? Last button for today, but it becomes your bestie. Can everyone find their G-solve button? Right, F5, again, it's in yellow. Get into the habit of pressing Shift G-solve. And wonderful things. Root. Anyone know what that would be? You'd think it was square root. No, it's your X-intercept. Right? I know. Why would they call it root? Don't know. Yep, so if we press it, do we know why it's flashing?
It's telling us that.
Well, no. You've got two graphs there, so they're going, well, which one do you want the X-intercept of? So if I wanted it, it's flashing, it's saying, do you want it of that one? I go, no, I'm picky, I want the other one. I use my arrow keys, and now that one flashes. So if it's that one, I said, yes, please, and press enter. Gives me the Y-intercept. Yeah? Pardon? Yeah, you can see it. Obviously, we're going to get to ones where you won't be able to see it. And it will be a fraction. It will tell you. Yeah? G-solve again. Max min, you're not going to get anything there. That's when you've got a curvy graph and you've got a hill or a valley. Y-intercept works the same, it'll flash. What do you think this one means? Where they intersect. Press it. Bang. Happy days? Bang. Shift G-solve. What does the arrow mean? There's more to see here. Yeah, what is Y-calc and X-calc? So you don't have to keep going flash, flash, flash. Nearly done. Can we press exit? Exit again. You with me? We're going to go up here, and I'm not going to delete that. I'm just going to deselect it. So I've pressed F1. Can you see now? That's highlighted, but that one isn't. And I changed the scale, so I'm going to go back to Shift View Window, back to Standard, Draw. There she blows. Yep. G-solve. More. No. Oh, yeah, no, yes, right. No, well, that's, yes, I invite people over. We have calculator parties, correct. Right, so Y-calc, let's have a go. What do you think it does? Press it. I'm not going to tell you. You figure it out. What do you think happens when you go Y-calc? Ooh, X. What shall we do? Okay, 3. Let's just pop 3 in there and see what happens. Oh, what's it done? No, so it subbed it in. It said when X is 3, Y is? -4. You did different, right, okay. Shh. G-solve, more. What do you think your X-calc is going to do? X-calc. Give us a value. 2. Oh. Now, hang on. Hang on. Now, mine says not found. And we go, hang on, that's not right. Because we know when y is 2, it is eventually going to have a value, isn't it? So why is the calculator telling me not found? Oh, it is pretty good, but your scale, we need to move it across. Look at your arrow keys. You could move with your arrow keys, but I'll be here all day. So I'm going to do this. This is the last bit. Ready? Shift, view window, and I'm going to go here and increase my max. What do you want to increase it to? You say 500, I'll do it. You want me to do it to 500? So I'll do it to 500. You do it to something more sensible. But I will go 500. I'd say a lot of wasted space, right? But G-solve, more, X-calc, when y is 2, I get my value. Yeah? So to use your calculator, you need to understand graphs and to go that, well, when I'm asking it to find my x value for y is 2, when it says not found, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. It means it's a scale issue. So they go hand in hand. You can play with your calculator. We could do that today. Right? So we're going to start using our calculators a fair bit because we need to be able to know how to do this beautifully. And you might forget some of this next lesson. We'll go over it again. Okay? So sorry. G2. And, I say sorry, but I had to stop a lot for you.